And we are recording. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Hangout with Mentors. It's another Wednesday evening where we are showing up on purpose to provide some valuable conversation, dynamic discussion, to share value with you, expose a little bit about who we are. And by the way, who are we? Who are we? Unstoppable Alliance. We're a group of people who choose on purpose to, do a few things. We choose to hang out together on purpose, to share value, to inspire each other, to motivate each other, to be accountable and responsible for our own business, and to help each other. The really cool thing about what we're doing here in the Unstoppable Alliance is providing a place where each of you as members are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And for those of you that are watching, you've been invited here by someone who cared about you, someone who wanted you to know what we're all about. So after you watch this, hopefully you take some notes, get back with them and find out how you can get started, and definitely return. We show up here every Wednesday night in this platform at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's altogether, including member-only and public events, we have 15 live events every week. Every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can listen to Joe and get back with the person that invited you for that phone number. Then in the afternoons during the week, we have training calls. And Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m., we try to keep it as simple as possible, although there's a few different numbers and a few different links, but the times are very strategic. So Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is either a call or this hangout that you can jump on and share, listen to our value. There's always some way that you can be interactive. So for example, on this platform, you can click chat, you can ask us questions, you can add input, share what your thoughts are, and kind of engage with us. So on this particular Wednesday night Hangout with Mentors, it's a different topic every week. This week, the topic is Millionaire Notes from GoPro 2016. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, there was a group of us that decided to attend Eric Worre's Network Marketing GoPro event in Vegas. This one was the biggest ever. It was the 7th annual event that was put on, and 20,000 tickets were available. Now, I didn't get the exact number that ended up being sold, but they were close to being sold out. And the number of people, that's a huge number. The number of people that registered live to attend the event, that were there in person and presented, was 16,500, they told us. That's a lot of people in one place with the same purpose. I just want you to pause on that number. Nothing has ever been done in this industry. And I'll pause on that note, because part of what they shared with us, and especially Eric Worre, he wants us to change some of our language. We've all been calling this an industry, and that's fine, but he challenges us to call it a profession. He wants us all to step up to a greater level. He wants us all to really believe so much in this industry, we've been calling it. He wants us to call it a profession. And he's talking about, some people used to say over the past 7 years of the GoPro events, people have always thought that it was more for just MLM. But his overall message is that direct selling is kind of not really a good term, because in some way or another, there's direct selling everywhere. MLM, he doesn't want us to really even use that term, because it's just one core business format, business strategy. So what I really love about that is then Eric Worre, who his overall goal is to share value, which that's kind of our goal as the Unstoppable Alliance. So that really kind of blends our goal with Eric Worre's goal. So he wants us to consider all of it, which includes us, big ticket, top tier, direct, member to member. And how great is it to be included in someone's realm that puts on events that attract 20,000 people? I find that really empowering. A lot of the speakers, in fact, almost every single speaker, either a part or all of what they shared, and you'll find out, please do listen closely to what everyone shares, what their takeaways and their notes were from the event. But a lot of what was being shared at this event from millionaires, not just six-figure earners, but millionaires, were the same language, the same concepts, the same key principles that we've been talking about right here in the Unstoppable Alliance. So to me, that's really powerful. I really paused on that because that means that we are in the right place at the right time with really powerful thinking. So thank you, each one of you that believed in us. Thank you, each one of us that show up so consistently. Rob, I know you love the consistency, right? It's not about like always about something like the incredible knowledge and all of this great stuff that and art, and each of us individually have pieces of it, but consistency is so, so important. What does consistency create? Trust. And what are relationships built on? Trust. Why do people feel comfortable here? The place where everyone knows your name? Because trust is being built. So that's why we're here. So thank you. Thank you very much for each of you that keep on showing up and supporting us. We exist because of you, and your voice matters very, very much. So over the next few days, there was some released today and yesterday, like little pieces of the presence of the people that were able to attend this event with us. Please do support that, because each person really stepped out of their comfort zone. Each person had either a small or sometimes a huge life-changing breakthrough this past weekend. And that's why we want to take, like, literally dedicate this time to share that with you and hope that you choose to engage with us. The Sunday after the event, literally 10 hours we spent. No energy, no thoughts, no knowledge, nothing was held back. We spent 10 hours masterminding and sharing our experience of the event, how we want to move forward, and on and on and on. You'll hear pieces of it in between, but we'll also be sharing it on our Facebook page. Please support that. Please do. Edify, support that, because that's how we have the courage, and that's how we're empowered to keep on delivering more, is by your support. So you matter so much to us. Absolutely so much. So here's the thing that I want to mention about Sunday, and then I'll go through a few of the notes and then open it up to the panel. But on Sunday, we started the day off with 2 questions and then a decision. So the questions were, and I've kind of already touched on that, how does all this content, and it was just mind-blowing, the amount of content that the speaker shared with us, how does that relate to us? How does the supposed previous GoPro events, which were thought to be MLM targeted, how does that relate to us? Well, Eric Worre helped us clear that up by saying that it does relate to us. All of their All of their nuggets, all of their talks were about humanizing. They were about building relationships, about networking, about being authentic. Some of the words that were very, very commonly touched on were courage, unstoppable, and empowering. What do we talk? Those three words were touched on by almost every speaker. And what do we all talk about daily, on a daily basis here? We talk about that. So what does the content that the event have to do with us? Everything, everything. Our business will grow when we're authentic and when we humanize all of our marketing, when we simply follow the process. It's about people and process. That's what creates our profits, right? If we follow the 3-step module. 3 steps. Create a lead, invite them through conversation to the value that we have here in the community, and then request a decision. So what we're doing here is what they taught there. That's what it has to do. So how do we apply it? It is what we are. The second question was, so what are we going to do? What action are we going to take? So it's great to get energized, and it's great to socialize about what we're energized about, the information and everything. But what action are we going to take? So the very first decision that we made as a group, which was almost like energetically simultaneously decided upon even before words were spoken, we're going to make a presence again next year because we deserve it. We're an amazing community that's growing exponentially on the daily. So we're going to commit to go again next year in a bigger sense with even more planning on purpose. And that's really cool. That's really cool. So one of the first notes that I earmarked here was Curtis. He's a great guy, great MC. He said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. And that's what we're all doing here, right? We're creating it. We're so on purpose. I love each one of you, so much passion and energy. And that quote just rung with me when he said, and it's true, we're here right now choosing unstoppable on purpose. So we can cut through all the chatter in our thoughts when we take control. So in between each one of our live events, when we get together and we connect, sometimes our thoughts, that monkey chatter can take over. That's probably one of the most empowering part about this community, is it interrupts that I like to call it monkey chatter. It interrupts that and it corrects that when we're around amazing people. At the same time, it reminds us what's important. And it really is important. Eric Worre said, network marketing isn't perfect. It's just better. I kind of like that, right? It's not perfect. It's just better. What we're doing, it's not perfect. It's pretty good, though. It's pretty better. And then I'm just going to leave lots of the details to everybody else. But Mel Robbins, I think a lot of you will agree, the power of 5-second decisions. Wow. Wow. We can create a whole course on that. Just make a decision and just do it, right? So we can go into detail on that if anybody has any questions, but a 5-second decision. Some of our best decisions are made like that. Do it. Just do it. Let's make a decision and just do it, right? It's important to always take a key takeaway. That's one of the things that they suggested in the beginning in one of the opening sessions, a key takeaway. So I would like to challenge each of you, very strong leaders in our community. Could you help me? Could you please help me moving forward to encourage everyone for every session? We're such a powerful community and we have so many live events. So could you help me encourage everybody at the beginning of each session to make a mental note, to take a key takeaway? We need to impact. So let's do that on purpose. A key takeaway for every session. We have so many live sessions. Let's help people know what to take away from it. Then it was noted, it's important to look in the mirror. Let's look in the mirror and see what we are bringing, what we have to offer, and reflect, give ourselves a high five, look in the mirror. Who are we, and are we someone that we would want to follow? And how are we going to appreciate ourselves? That's how we build on our courage and what we bring to the table, right? Sir Richard Branson, the first power word he used was courage. I smiled deeply at that moment. Amazing, amazing billionaire who had just that morning tested a rocket is using the same language as our community. Are you kidding me? You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I don't say that lightly. Like a man that has done so many things, and we're thinking along the same lines, and we all chose to go and listen to that same person. This is huge. This is huge. Another common thing that he talked about was the ventures that he spoke of that were the most fulfilling filled the great needs of many people. So the businesses that he chose to put the most energy in were ventures that were going to fulfill needs of the most people. What have we decided to do here in the Unstoppable Alliance? Why did we decide to do this? Because we saw a need of the people. Does that tell you something about the right kind of thinking? That's what he said. The ventures that he chose were something that he saw that people needed. That's amazing. He built his Virgin Airlines on a low ad budget. I just want you to sit with that for a minute, right? It's extraordinary. So what he said you need is a low ad budget, creativity, choose to do extraordinary, and do what hasn't been done, and fulfill the needs that people need. That's it. And that's what we're doing right here. So I have notes from all the people, but I'm going to stop because I want to hear from you, and I can always go back to them. Is anybody jumping in their seat to add? Meredith.
I'm also jumping because I've got so many other calls I have to make right now. But that was the most spectacular weekend, and I'm madly in love with Sir Richard Branson. But for every reason. I mean, what an amazing person to give so much of himself for mankind and for individuals. Really an amazing person, and everything he taught and talked about was so great and so relaxed, so casual. He was amazing. And of course, Tony Robbins was absolutely amazing. And so were all of the speakers. I don't think there was one speaker there that didn't inspire me and just have such great things to say. And I have such a burning desire now since then to really ramp things up, and so it's just really great. And then of course meeting all you guys and missing all you others that weren't there. It was really such a spectacular thing. It really was. And this is the best thing, the Unstoppable Alliance. There is nothing better than us, and that's what I have to say.
Thanks, Meredith, and it was a pleasure to meet you.
And you.
Pleasure to have you there, and thank you.
Thank you. And we'll have to go back to Las Vegas to that restaurant, Tammy. Gosh, that restaurant was good.
I was going to say, I'm just smiling thinking about that, Meredith.
Yeah. I mean, the company was good, but the food was fabulous. No, I'm kidding. It was fabulous, the whole thing. All right, you guys, thank you. I'm sorry. I really do have to go, but love you all. Thank you. And Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Tammy and Rob and David and Frank. Goodbye. Goodbye, you guys.
Thanks for coming out.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Is this Dr. B? Are you on here and you can't be seen, or what's going on? Because I cannot see Dr. B.
Well, I think there were 12 panelists, and maybe he could get on now that Meredith has gone off.
It should fit 50, though.
Oh,
that's
okay.
The thing. We should be able to fit 50 panelists.
Okay.
They just the more people that join on, our little video boxes just get smaller.
Yeah, and mine have a little arrow to see the rest of them. You can click these little arrows. Well.
Okay. Well, if you, I honestly don't know because I can't see you on here. The one thing that often works is pop off and pop on again.
He's a participant.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe do that.
Who's jumping out to go next?
I'd like to jump out.
Please do.
This is Bob. Okay. Hey, yeah, it was a great weekend, great event as well, and including some of the weekend and before the weekend. And the entire event, I mean, the takeaway for me was a tremendous amount of inspiration, and seeing all the $1 million earners and the $10 million earners. And when you get up close to folks like that, you realize, they're just like us. There's nothing real different about them. They were just people that at one time or another, life, between things that went on and everything, they just made decisions to do stuff. And that was echoed by Sir Richard Branson when he talked about, providing that need. In other words, he never thought, I read his autobiography, Losing My Virginity was the name of his autobiography, and I highly advise it. Everything he did, like when he couldn't make an airplane, he couldn't get on an airplane to get where he wanted to go. So he pulls out his credit card, he charters an airplane and fills it up with the other passengers that were also inconvenienced. So sure, that is about finding a need, seeing a need and satisfying it, and not stopping yourself by saying, well, I can't do that. Well, that won't work for me. That's too much to do. He just jump in and do it, and most of the time it worked out. Sometimes it didn't, but it never stopped him. So that was and I got that feeling throughout the entire event. From all these successful folks that we saw there, that was the feeling that these are people that, something at some point in life, they had a need for something, or they saw a need, and they wanted to try to satisfy that. And they didn't let the normal type of fears that so many of us have. So many people are just beset by fear when it comes to just jumping in and doing stuff. And they go their whole lives and they don't really necessarily realize their dreams or their passions because they are afraid. And what is there really to be afraid of? And Roosevelt had said, Franklin Roosevelt, when he said, "There's nothing to fear but fear itself." I thought that was a great quote by one of our presidents, and that's what I say is, throw caution aside and just as Richard Branson said, screw it, just do it. And that's been my philosophy. I've been kicking little pebbles out of the way for a long time that pop up in the road. Little things get in my way once in a while. I just give them a good kick. I don't blow a pebble up into a stone. I just kick it out of my way and I keep moving forward. And that was to me was the takeaway. Beyond that, meeting with the team and realizing the power of our team, and we want to take at least 100 people next year, this event, which is 10 times what we had. And I know that we're speaking of even a lot more than that. And I'd love to see that. I just the power of the team and having the extra day. I hope we have a couple extra days next year. I know part of us had another extra day as well. I think we should have 2 to 3 days for the team and the event. And just when you realize the power of the team right here that we have, and meeting everybody, and again getting to know you, Susan, and Tammy, and Jason better, and of course Sunita, and meeting and Kelly and Greg, and everybody that was part of the team, Meredith, of course. It was just with Valerie as well. I mean, now I don't want to leave out anybody's name, but the bottom line is seeing everybody, getting to know them, getting ideas, sharing ideas. You were very helpful, Susan, with your lessons to us, social media lessons and things like that. You have a lot to teach. We offer that as a team. When someone joins with us with the Unstoppables, they're going to have that kind of training. That's part of what they get. We teach over 5 methods, strong methods of prospecting, which just work. I do mostly phone broadcasting. You and Tammy do mostly social media, and we both do well. Well, we're going to teach you all the methods, and you'll be able to pick the one or the ones that you like and resonate with. And of course, I love to do my mindset calls, so we all have an opportunity to get our mind in the right place, because I know that if the mind is in the right place, everything else goes a lot easier. I've studied a lot of that. I offer that on our mindset calls. So, that's one thing that I love to contribute as well. And with that being said, yeah, I mean, that was, I hope that I've tried to get across the takeaway beyond the fact of being totally inspired and feel like I'm on fire now, and just even more productive than ever. So, that was my piece.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. You know what was really interesting is through the days, through the few days that we spent together, there was the beginning. You were excited to meet everybody. But by the end, and before you left, you literally were on fire. Like a fire was lit in Bob like there's no tomorrow. So it was beautiful to observe the progression of that over the few days. And I honestly feel honored to have observed that. And I know I'm not the only one that noticed that. So we were thrilled to have your value. Your value is so immense. And so your value plus a fire equals an incredible Bob for the community. So for those of you watching, the cool thing about what we have here is often when you join a business or an opportunity, you have 1 or 2 leaders, but you have an immense amount of leaders, each with different strengths, that are just so generously always giving every day. So, but you specifically, Bob, yes, I saw that fire being lit. So I'm honored to literally observe the lighting of that fire. I can't wait for all the tomorrows.
Thank you. And I saw the same type of thing with our whole team. It was a progressive excitement level that I don't think any of us wanted it to end. And of course it's not. That's why we're hanging out here.
That's right. So the power of events, right? And that is what happens in events. And by choosing on Sunday to grab that, it's almost like you know that excitement's going to happen at an event, because it's a knowing that we all have. But by choosing to grab it and like latch onto that, we can help that fuel us forward into the days to come and into 2017 by helping each other. And that's a choice. Right. So Thank you. That reminds me of one of the things that Eric asked Sir Richard Branson. He asked him, so what gets you up in the morning? And the simple answer was, I love people. I love learning. I love challenging myself. I love being around people. I love nonprofit. It's really more about helping people than the money. That was Sir Richard Branson's answer to that question. Frank, did you want to speak next? You kind of put your finger up in there. Were you agreeing, or did you want to speak? Okay. Rob?
I was pointing at Frank.
You're pointing at Frank? So are you guys going to just point at each other and get Susan all like, Tammy, do you want to talk next?
I do,
It's okay.
man.
You guys can throw me off guard. I'll just react.
I'm actually jumping in my seat to go next, but
Okay, go.
if anyone else wants, man, I have not slept, I don't think, since I left there. I mean, and that's just one of the things I really, really think that it carries me through, though. I've been like this for many, many, many months now. So the energy, building up to this event, and I can tell you guys that in the 29 years of my self-employment, I think this has probably been my favorite event. I've been to many of them. I've been to just one event with one company, and it had like 9,000 people at it. It was in Texas, and it was in the stadium, and that just simply, it wasn't the same as this one. And I think it's because of the Unstoppable Alliance, and I just think that we have such a great community. It's like a love fest, I don't know how else to say it. Everybody's giving bear hugs, and and it's like, because we see each other on these Zooms, it's like, then we saw each other in person, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is like so amazing, it's so real. So I think I was just really, really blown away, and I think it's really important to get to events. My takeaway is that I'm playing way too small. I'm playing way too small. And when I say that, I mean, I'm pretty much a lot of people knows I'm a numbers person. I like to, put out numbers, and I like to say, you know what, my goal at the beginning of this year, this was before we even really knew about the event, but Susan and I came together and we said, you know what, our goal is to create 100 six-figure earners, and we just put in our 101 person. Okay, that's big ticket. We're talking numbers. Okay, now we have slated, and we talked about this after the event, Susan and I think even we might have to ramp up our numbers a little bit more, but by next year, by the next GoPro event, I want to bring 400. Why not? Why not be able to have that room packed, like a whole section? I mean, you guys, I've never been in a place that could hold so many people before, and I've been to a lot of places, a lot of events. This had 16,000. It was literally like a rock, like a concert. I can't even explain it, between Tony Robbins and all these speakers. I mean, just the energy in there. So we could have like one whole section. And I've seen it. I see groups of people. You know what I mean? So there's no reason why we can't. There's no reason why we can't each say, I'm going to be bringing 100. You know what I mean? And even on this camera right here, do the math. So I'm just really excited. What I really like is the vision that we have for this group. But each person on stage had one vision. They had a specific topic, and each time they talked about their vision first. So they didn't talk about money, they talked about their vision. The money follows. When you have a vision, the money will follow. So that's my huge takeaway. And share your story. They all shared a story. We all have a story here. We all come together, and we have all come onto this because you've heard someone's individual story. You heard my story, you've heard Susan's, you've heard Kelly's, you've heard Bob. See what I'm saying? Sunita. Everybody has a story. Everybody does. David, you have a story. Frank, Rob, you guys have stories. See what I mean? So that's what brings people together. The other thing I think is really cool is I started out as a follower. I wanted to see what the leaders are doing. So every great leader starts out as a follower. And that's a cool thing. You guys are listening and you're learning, and you're like, you know what? If these guys can do this and simply invite people to something like this and share their story, then you can do the same thing. It doesn't have to be rocket science here. I think that's the cool part about the our science space, is that anybody can do it with any education, any background. You know what I mean? I didn't graduate from college. I make more money than some of the professors. You know what I'm saying? It's just all in your motivation, and it's really simply, that's what it boils down to, is your motivation. You don't have to have a degree to make money in this industry. It levels the playing field, and that's what I learned. If you can invite someone to a webinar, and you can invite someone to a call, then you can make money. Isn't that cool? It's the coolest thing. It's the biggest industry. It's the growing industry. It's the biggest industry. Network marketing. internet marketing is a huge going to be trillion-dollar industry. You know what I mean? And that's where I felt the security. There's no saturation. That's the other thing that's so cool. A lot of people even ask, is there saturation in what you're doing? Are you kidding me? You see all those people in front of you, and it's like, no, there's no saturation. There's millions and millions of people that need what we want, what we have. You know what I'm saying? Personal development, business development, learning how to expand their businesses. That's what we're in. So, man, and you know what? One last thing is, don't let anyone ever steal your dream. No one. Don't let anyone take it away. And that's what I have here tonight, Susan. I'm fired up.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. Those shares, that was powerful.
Nice.
You can tell, hey, I'm a changed person. I'm serious. I've been going through my notes, and I say, you know what? And I always do this too. Whenever I go to an event, I always say, if I learn one thing that can 10 times my business, well, I learned 10, like just tons of things that will 10 times my business. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm fired up.
Yeah. I like the key points that you chose to share. Thank you very much, Tammy.
You're welcome.
One of the other questions that Eric asked Sir Richard Branson that really impressed me, what I really enjoyed about him is he kept things so real and so simple, right? And one of the questions that Eric asked him was, how can we best conduct ourselves to create trust? And Sir Richard Branson said, well, you just have to be real. And you also have to truly believe that what you're selling or what you're offering is really special. So, and that's a lot of what we talk about too, right? You have to believe in it, and that will just come through organically. So Sir Richard Branson kind of essentially just authenticated that. He said, well, it's just simple. You have to be authentic and really believe that what you got is really special. How cool is that? So sometimes I think we too often overcomplicate things. So you just have to really believe in it and simply invite people to the value. Trust the process, and you'll build trust in the people that you're talking to. Another one, and this is just silly for sharing it. What would you write to your 30-year-old self? And he said, you lucky bastard. I
love that one. Oh, yeah, one last thing I forgot to say, Susan, I forgot. Never forget where you come from.
Yeah, I have that in my notes too. Always remember where you came from.
Always, always, always.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now I have to take off my running jacket because, it's like heated up in here.
And another thing he asked, do you have any specific advice you'd like to give to female network marketers? And he said, well, I don't think they need any advice actually, because 76% of them 76% of network marketers are female. So I think they're doing pretty good. They don't need any advice.
Yeah, he said that. That was great.
Anybody else that's jumping? Sunita, you have to go off camera right away. Would you like to share? And first of all, I'm sorry, before you speak, Sunita, and I have a post to make in social media, and I'm going to post it everywhere I possibly can, but I'd like to say it live on this video. Thank you. From the bottom of all of our hearts, Sunita, this lady went above and beyond for us because she lives there. She grabbed a vehicle. She helped us coordinate things. She gave us rides. She jumped through hoops. She made every possible effort to make everything better for us. Sunita, you are a beautiful soul who gives to us all the time anyway, but right there in person, you were absolutely amazing and so generous. You're definitely a huge asset to our community, and we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're family. I can't even say you're welcome. That's what family do.
Nice.
I like you going off, but you guys are family. So, I mean, I didn't think twice about anything. It was just about let's do it and let's do it together.
And that was obvious. Yeah.
So my biggest takeaway from the event had to be with Tony Robinson when he was teaching us about peak energy. and being energy rich. When he taught that's gonna stay with me forever, no matter what I am doing. Being able to turn off happiness and sadness and missing people at a split moment, tricking our brains, he said, that was amazing. I'm looking at you guys right now like I haven't seen you guys in forever, but I miss the heck out of you guys. And that's real. And it ain't no peak about that. That's how my energy truly, truly feel. I take that with me. And what I also took away from the event with being amongst family, I thank you guys for all your encouraging words to me. Those words will always stick with me, and I appreciate all of the things that you guys saw in me or see in me that I don't see in myself yet. I really take all those compliments and just observations. I really take those to heart. And the last thing I'm going to say is that, the last thing that I want to say is that I think it was Jeff Roberto. He had a wonderful speech, and he said, well, I don't have no ending video and I don't have a beginning video, but I do have a song to play. And he played Hero. And as I'm sitting there, I turned to Tammy, and I turned to Susan, and I turned to Bob. And I reached out to you guys because you guys are truly my hero. Okay, Abia, you guys are truly my hero. And tears did come down my face rolling as I sang with my oh so beautiful voice because you guys did save me at a moment of my life where I didn't know what was what. And I truly meant, when I reached out to you guys, I truly meant that you guys were my hero and are my hero and still are. And it's a hero inside of all of us. And you guys brought it to me every hug. Oh my God, Jason needs to just teach on how to hug. OMG. He really brought passion with his hugs and taught us how to hug properly. And it's so much that I took from it, but I'm going to keep it short. I'm at my son's Christmas play, and my light keep going off, and it ain't no more seats on the inside, but I just wanted to jump out here and let you guys know that it was a pleasure to host you guys as best as I can, even though I kept giving y'all wrong directions.
Thank you, Sunita. Again, thank you for sharing, and thank you for just being so there for us.
No problem. It was
Thank you so much again.
I have to agree, and the core message of Jeff Roberti was the biggest variable in your business is you. That was a powerful quote, right? And he kept on going back to trust the process, follow, do the steps, don't try to create something different. Don't create a new wheel. The greatest variable is you and your business. And then he also said, look in the mirror, and are you being someone that you would like to follow? So burning desire, do the basics, do the fundamentals, just keep on doing. And that's what we always talk about. How powerful, right? Ray, we were feeling lost with you not being on camera. Thank you. I don't know. It must have popped you off or something. Because
I am so confused because I'm confused.
It might be something with the Zoom, because I promoted you back to panelist again, which I had before already, and then it popped you on. So
looking like Bruce Lee Adams with that hat though, bro, and that beard. Like, were you out chopping wood or something, or what, man? Like,
Rob, you always bring warmth to my heart. If Rob Hanley wasn't here, I don't know what I would do.
Well, I was feeling lost without Ray's face on here.
Holy man.
I'm like, okay, something's wrong with the vibe. We don't have the vibe. Ray's mug isn't on here.
You guys are the vibe. What are you talking about? Man. Well, I am so, you know what? You know I'm pissed that I missed this event. You guys know that. But I am so happy that I got to, I'm hearing you guys. This is what makes it great. Because everybody brings something to the table. Susan, you've always said this. Everybody contributes.
Yeah.
And Joe made a statement. Down, girl. Joe made a statement, and he said, all ships rise together.
Mm-hmm.
And just with this information that people are getting and gathering and bringing here, it just, you can feel that, you can feel elevated. You can feel, hey man, I almost didn't miss it because my Susan was there. My Tammy was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my Jason was there. You know, somebody was there for you in your place. And that's what I feel. I really feel that, and I feel that from this community. And I don't want to get too mushy because I might cry. So you're not going to make me do it, Susan.
You know I can.
But I do. Yes, you can. Oh, you can. Just, you know, you can. Just the warmth that everybody gives out, and just having somebody in your stead. I feel like I was there, and that's the reality of being able to be inside this unstoppable alliance. It constantly makes me be able to plug in and say I'm unstoppable. You know, I can do the things daily, and I'm so happy that I can be consistent with my own work. In fact, I'm even doing more than what I used to do because I have a dream, and that dream helps me to be unstoppable. And it was this place that really gave me that, you know, those running shoes to be able to say this program, this opportunity, if I want to call the business itself an opportunity, or do I want to call the opportunity? But it gives us the opportunity to really run and create that consistency, as Rob would say. And that gives that juice to everybody. And all ships do rise together from that power. And I didn't mean to, I don't want to be so deep or esoteric, but it is true. And the more and more that I move in that, the more and more I realize and I become aware that we are all evolving together as a group.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just are getting those aha moments so fast. And Sunita, you drive me home, baby. You rock. You got a vibe in you. And I said it before, you're walking reward for 10,000 people. I mean that. And you bring life. You show us a model of who to be on the daily with your videos and just your energy. So that's what I have. I mean, I'm so thankful for you guys, everybody here. I can't see everybody on the panel, but I know everybody's here.
Thank you. Thank you
Bob,
so much, Ray,
Kelly,
for sharing that.
The great David, Dr. B. Oh my gosh. Like
You know what you just justified, Ray? Ray, you justified why we decided to do what we decided on Sunday. You totally justified why we wanted to talk about this. We wanted to energize this. We wanted to bring it back to the people. We wanted to put it into action by talking about it and committing to it. You justified that point. You also justified the point why we decided now to go to 2017 GoPro, because that gives a whole year for everybody to commit. If you have a target in view, if you have clarity, you can achieve it. So we're clear that we're going there, and so we can achieve that. That gives a longer time of planning. That's what everybody needs. So thank you, Ray, for sharing that, because you justified that those two decisions that we made are very, very, very important. So we need to speak it. We need to plan it. We need to, more of us, be there on purpose, because this, by us being there at the event, has not only affected the people present, but all of you that are choosing to be present while we're sharing it, right? That's what it's all about. So thank you for sharing that, Ray. Jason, you had your hand up. You wanted to go next?
I do. Thank
Are you ready for the hook if you're talking too long though?
Oh,
I remember last week, you know.
I don't think you'll need a hook because I'm actually kind of on a little bit of a time frame here myself. So I've got
that, though.
I know I've got my own hook, that's for certain.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? It was just absolutely, you know, first of all, I'm blessed. I'm thankful for being able to be here tonight, for being invited to be amongst all of you. Okay, really, because that's what this is really about. It's not about us. It's about all of us. Okay, it really is. And we, as we grow, I mean, you know, I think that personally the most successful person in the Alliance is probably not even joined the Alliance yet. So, I mean, that's the bottom line is it's for everybody. And this event that we went to, I've got to say, I've been in the home-based business arena now for 20 years. And this was by and far and large the biggest, most electrifying, that's the word that comes to me, is electrifying event that I've ever been involved with and been to. You know, just from all the top-notch quality speakers. I mean, of course, yes, you did have Sir Richard Branson, who it really just felt, you know, for me, surreal comes to mind to be in the same room as such an icon as Richard Branson, and to have him be on stage and say, Susan, like you said, that was one of my biggest takeaways too, is just to be real. Okay, I mean, the question about how can you get more trust into what you're doing, and when he says just be yourself and be real and be transparent and let people know your true intentions of what you want to do, they'll see what you want, just like they will see if you have bad intentions. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that was a huge takeaway for me as well, right there at that particular moment. And then, you know, there was so many of them. I mean, for all of us that really kind of get stuck, you know, in our own mind, okay, you know, one of the big things that helped me actually 10 years ago, which I kind of set aside when, you know, I used to be a smoker. I used to smoke cigarettes. I'd smoked for a long time. And how I finally quit was using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, okay, of where it's just you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go, okay, and just really focus on whatever it is you want to focus on, or, you know, defocus yourself from what it is. And like with smoking, for instance, you know, if you could just tackle that first 5 seconds, and, you know, who knows, there's maybe a smoker out here that wants to quit, that are looking to quit. This method definitely works. If you can just, and you can, not if you can do this. You just simply count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and focus your energy and your mind on something other than that cigarette, and that thought of the cigarette will go away. Okay, now, granted, it'll keep coming back, but you keep doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it will eventually go over a period of time and get further and further away. And now I can proudly say it's been 10 years, you know, since I've smoked a cigarette. So, I mean, it does work. And you know, that was a takeaway that was that was there in the event as well. And then just to have, you know, again, my mind can race, and yes, I can take forever talking about this event because it was just fabulous, and I do have notes on every particular speaker, but I don't want to, you know, take up a lot of time here, of course. But the thing that really matters, the thing that really matters, is every one of you know what to do. Okay, you just got to do it. That's it. Do the things every single day. I mean, look, we talk about the Jeff Olson book too. I mean, a lot of that concept was still there. It's do the little things each and every single day, and you'll end up with a good result. And if you don't do those little things every single day, well, you're going to end up with the result. It's just not going to be as good. So, you know, you've got to really do it. And to have Eric Worre, okay, who is, you know, I've had the privilege of knowing of him for quite some time, and I've had the honor of being introduced to him by a few of my friends from the network marketing arena. And to have him do what he's doing with the GoPro seminar, where he's bringing value, true value to our arena, to entrepreneurs, to people that want to be entrepreneurs, the true value, and not having it be, I mean, honestly, I had in my mind, because this is the first time I've ever been there, I thought you were going to have like a big pitch fest, you know, people, and I even had the thing of hey, look, there's going to be a lot of people that I'll be able to meet and connect with, but that didn't happen. I mean, that didn't happen, and I wasn't there for that purpose. I mean, once I realized, well, not once I realized, but it being in the room, okay, you do realize that, hey, that's not what we're here for. We're really here to gather the value. And boy, did they deliver. Okay, I mean, look, my only regret, quite frankly, is not grabbing as many people as I could and saying, hey, you have to, no matter what, be here. Just be here, be here, be here. But that's what we're going to do for this upcoming event. I mean, it is already on the schedule. It's November 16th through the 18th of next year. November 16th through the 18th. So please mark your down on your calendar now, because you're going to want to be there. You're going to want to be there to learn and educate yourself and just feel the vibrations and the camaraderie of the people that are there. And it, not only within your team, but with just being in that arena is, again, electrifying. I mean, and it's contagious. I mean, it really is. I'm amazed. And yes, there's really, like I said, a whole ton of notes that we could go through, and I know that, you know, there's more speakers that are probably going to go through their notes. But the biggest takeaway is we already know what we're doing. Have the right mindset, have the right intent, be yourself, and let others know what we're doing. And just be straightforward. You know, don't try to be somebody who you're not. And you have to believe in what we're doing. And like Susan said, if that was brought up, is you have to believe that you're truly providing value. And with this community, the Unstoppable Alliance, that is the value that we are all bringing, because we are all part of it and we are all contributing to it in our own way. Okay, and there's nothing out there that can have more value than that. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it back to Susan. So thank you all for being here. And again, I'm truly blessed to be a part of this amazing community, and to see and be around such wonderful people. And yes, I have I love hugs. I warned you all of that, when we were there. Dr. B got to experience it when we were in New York, along with his lovely wife, Raina. I am, and each and every one of you, when I see you, be prepared for a hug. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It's on the left, because it's heart to heart. You always do your hugs to the people that you care about on the right to right. Now, if just nonchalant hug, yeah, go ahead, that's the right. But people that you care about is always left to left, heart to heart. And I look forward to having a heart to heart hug with each and every one of you.
You will.
Yeah. Fair warning, your back will be sore for the next couple of days.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, Tammy, or Susan, you're lucky that Tammy warned me that you couldn't be picked up, because you were going to be picked up too.
Yeah, that would have been bad, but thank you for not.
That was awesome, Jason.
Yeah, and hey, I'm going to be off. I'm going to be here listening, because I'm excited to see and watch and listen to other people how they really feel now that they've been back. But I am going to zip off camera as well. So thank you all again for allowing me to come out.
Thank you.
Right, Jason.
And relating to what Jason was saying, one of the key things that, of course, Tony Robbins, his powerful message is always about liberating your power within, right? And so his core message was about how decisions shape your life. And one of the best decisions that you can make is to choose to live in a beautiful state, no matter what. So energy, right? And so he gave us strategies how to release and knowing our ways, what works for each of us individually to choose the energy state that we need in that moment. And that's kind of his core strength of teaching people. And one of the best methods of helping you, of kind of being a support of choosing that energy state that you need, is surrounding yourself by people who add to that energy state and people who do not deplete that energy state. But ultimately, the decision is always up to us. So part of what we are all consciously deciding to do on a regular basis is surrounding ourselves around people that feed that energy state. And again, Tony reinforced that for us, and that's powerful. That's powerful. We elevate each other's energy state. And that's a gift beyond words. Kelly.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Wow. What a time we had. I wish everyone could have been there. We missed a few of you, to be sure. and we noticed you weren't there, and we were there for you. And I just want to say I've been in this industry for decades, like 4 decades. It's hard to probably believe, right? But true story. Coming up on my next birthday, it'll actually be 4 decades of time in the profession of whether it was direct sales, party plan, MLM, and all those years. Unbelievable to me. I've never been exposed to big ticket like what we do here with this business. And of course, obviously, money is an attraction to begin with. The idea that you'd be able to get paid 100% commissions. So being at that event, I think really helped me because I was getting a little jaded actually about, the odds of success in those businesses. And what I realized was it's always about us and the choices that we make, because really we're the ones that decide, are we going to be successful or not. It's based on the work that we do and the reason why we want to do it. But I've got to say that I've never been to a non-company type of event either, and that was the first one. Eric Worre is a class act, and like Jason was saying, I mean, there was no, it was very generic for all of us there. But the whole while I was thinking, we have got something so special because, of all that I've seen in this industry. And it comes down to the people that we have with us. And you all are such an important part to what we do here. And I'm learning so much. I can't believe that I'm still able to take in more. Because, there's points that I go, oh, okay, I've been to enough seminars. I've been to enough, events. Haven't I grown enough already? Well, no, really I haven't, right? I still have some growing to do. And I've been growing even more and faster because of my association with all of you wonderful, beautiful people. And I'm learning things that, again, wow, like how does that happen? I think one of the things that I really, really drew from that event was a couple things. You can't really change the people in your life, but you can change the people who are in your life, right? And sometimes you need to do that. You need to, be able to be around people that are uplifting to you. And we have that here in this alliance. It was so wonderful to meet you all, to have those hugs, to look you eye to eye, to get that special time, to get to know you better. And I just realized, we've got something here that's super special. We've got some really strong leadership here. We've got people from all the walks of life. And the other probably takeaway for me out of that event was really with Tony Robbins and his ability to draw out of you, the things that might be limiting you and stopping you. And he just nails it. And so we're so fortunate to have gotten to go to that event. I think it was really wise to plan our event around that event. It made, but I think I agree with Bob too. We need a little more time for just us on the next go round. And how many people are we going to have there? I think that we can impact people's lives here in a huge way, and lots and lots and lots of people, right? And I just know that I'm in the right place with the right people, with the right business. And the interesting thing was there was a lot of things said from that stage, and we just kept turning around and looking at each other and realizing, that's us, that's who we are, that's what we do, because it is about relationships, it is about personal development, it is about supporting and guiding and strategizing and mentoring each other to be better people. And if we can be better people, we're going to be better for all the people around us. And I am just thrilled to be a part of this organization. I can't say that I've ever felt this certain in bringing people to the table with us. I'm very confident in when we bring people along here that they're going to get what they need. And so just believe it. Believe in the magic of the dreams that you have in your heart. And, you can gain some freedom here, and you're going to gain a whole lot more because you're going to gain a whole new set of friends and family because we love you all. And thanks for letting me speak tonight. It was my pleasure to be there with you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kelly, for sharing that, for being so present this weekend, for being such a help and so passionate and caring. So thank you. Whew. I almost feel like I have to take an extra breath.
I know.
One of the things that Tony...
If anyone wants to know, I forgot to say, she beat me in arm wrestling, Ray.
Oh.
We did an arm wrestling match, so I got work to do. Yeah.
Awesome. My son and you need to connect, Kelly, because he's so far. I think he's undefeated so far. Like, of course, among friends and cousins, and except the only person that he had his dad and his uncle, and now he has officially beat them. So he would like to compare his techniques with yours.
I could teach him a trick or two.
I bet you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you could. One of the things that Tony also said was often people blame their reasons for failure on a lack of resources. Do you guys agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
People will often say that they're failing either because so-and-so, like people love to blame other people for their failure or lack of presence or lack of resources, which is essentially the same thing, right? Blame on something else, something other than themselves. Accountability is really important. We always fail to do something because of something within us, which is good to accept and own. But really, truly, failure is always a lack of resourcefulness.
Right.
And often that resourcefulness can be found in energy. It takes energy for resourcefulness. Okay? Pretty powerful, hey?
I like that.
I have somebody with their hand up. Valerie. Oh, we're going to hear from Valerie.
Yay.
Does anybody else have anything? Rob or Frank or Dr. B, do you want to chime in on what we've been sharing so far?
I never mind chiming in on anything, actually, but you know, I wasn't at the event. The only thing I could chime in on that particular day is my mother-in-law getting married to her 8th grade boyfriend.
Yeah, actually, yes. We want to hear about this. Do you have pictures for us?
I posted pictures on my Facebook page.
Okay, we'll go
with the event there, and I can put it on there. Or I can download them and put them in the Unstoppable room. But yeah, that was it was nice. My mother-in-law's like I don't know, 70, I think, or something like that, and married her. She's been single for 30 years, I think. So she married her 8th grade. Met her on Facebook. There's a power of social media right there. Got reacquainted on Facebook and got married. So that was a family event there. I guess in listening to everybody here and listening about the event, particularly about, gosh, I've been to every event. I feel like I've been to every, I've been to, like all of us, I've been to a lot of events. And, for anybody that's actually listening too, you're talking about, at least in my case, I don't know, maybe $100,000 invested in personal development, seminars and things like that. And, not specifically to this particular event, but once a week, today I play hooky because it's freezing cold out, but somebody challenged me to join Toastmasters, and I really enjoy it. In fact, I would highly encourage everybody to do it. It's like $50 every 6 months. You get up to speak in front of everybody. It's great training. They give you great feedback. And so I did not want to prepare for this, and I was a little bit ornery the week before, or a week ago Tuesday, because I had to speak in front of everybody, and I had absolutely nothing to speak about. And I think I shared last Wednesday, I spoke about As a Man Thinketh. And I made a mistake when I got up in front, and I said, I didn't mean it in a bad way, but I was trying to illustrate that, I kind of chose a topic at midnight last night, and the meeting's at 7 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of these people prepare for days. Somebody told me later, they said they kind of rubbed you the wrong way and a little bit because, some people prepare a lot, and here I got on and just, whipped something out. And then later that's not how I meant it at all. And then so later somebody said, the only problem, here's the thing, is that you didn't prepare for that like the night before. It was, it was for years and years and years, which brings me back around, so this mindset stuff, but it never ends. And how cool is it to have everybody? So that's what I kind of, in terms of illustrating, is you get all of this information in, and then sometimes it just pops out in little ways. And, these little nuggets that sometimes it's like showing somebody that maybe has been working in the job community, the job profession. How's that? So we're talking about the profession. Somebody's been working out there and they've never really done any personal development. They've never done anything entrepreneurial. They're not reading books or trying to improve themselves. Like we all would say, God, we just have this natural affinity. We want to learn. Richard Branson, what gets Richard Branson out of bed? Well, he wants to learn. He wants to. Everybody that's on here can go, yep, that's, that and that and that. But not everybody has had that opportunity, or they don't experience that. And so how cool is it that there's a new event that all of you guys go to? That's the best event ever. So I just love hearing, all of you guys affirm that what you were told on stage is what we're doing. We all have said, maybe it helps to kind of articulate a little bit to say, yeah, wow, God, these guys are, and I have been to Eric Worre events before. I think the first time I saw Eric Worre was in 2003. And I was like, who is this guy, man? And there was actually some really, really, really massive big dogs in network marketing. And then this guy came out and he was the lion. I mean, Eric Worre is the man. And I love Tony Robbins. I've only seen him live one time, but Tony Robbins is awesome. Anyhow, I can only imagine the kind of stuff. So back to all of our stuff is I think it's awesome that it reaffirms the things that we talk about here on a weekly basis, the connectedness, the authenticity, the reality of things, your story. All of these things are central and core to everything that we're doing, and it's probably why when I invite people to this meeting here, and I have a hard time explaining really what it is, honestly. Again, I get text from people. I don't know if one of the guys on, my friend Paul, that joined me a few weeks ago, and all that he said when he went to this meeting was, he texted me after it was over and he said, real. And I was thinking, like, what? Like, what's real exactly? And I already knew what he meant. And then he went off in this long diatribe about how, it's all real people. It's not hypey. We're not this and that. And that's all this kind of stuff. And we all seem to have this love and affinity for the group. How cool is it for Sunita to talk about, hey, you guys are family? That's like, wow. I mean, it's cool that we're a group of people that like each other, but then you start talking about language like that, it really takes it to a whole nother level. So, I don't know. I'm just really appreciative of everything that we do here. The other thing that came up for me as I think you were talking, Susan, was, I think of what it was, or maybe it was Jason saying, if you believe in what you sell. And I heard a couple of other people either say this outright, or it was the feeling that I got, if you believe in what you sell. So yeah, I like Titan. I think Titan's great. I think the products are awesome, but honestly, I don't get all hypey about it. There's good stuff. I mean, I can find that kind of stuff everywhere. What really brings the value in that is all of the machine that makes it work and access and just the opportunity that it has itself. But everybody on here knows that we could go to some other company, do the same thing. It's a great thing. I like them. I like the owner. It's special. It's awesome. But really what I sell and what I believe in, and whomever it was, forgive me that I don't know who it was. It was one of the ladies that just spoke a second ago. I can't remember who it was. Had said, I've never felt more confident in introducing and bringing new people into an opportunity than this. And that is precisely how I feel. Listening to Bob, for example, say, hey, you know, I do predictive dialing and I teach this kind of, you know, we cover some of this stuff. And Susan and Tammy, they do a lot of social media, and we kind of teach this kind of stuff. So you can get access to all of these things. And the best way that I really can explain this mastermind, and maybe even perhaps to create more of a self-fulfilling prophecy of what this is, because I honestly think that one of the reasons why this is so cooperative and why everybody's so cool and why everybody helps everybody out so much is partly because we keep saying that. So we say that, and then we expect that, and then new people come in, and this is what we fulfill, which means we say that, which means so we're kind of creating this whole thing with our words and with what our intention is and what we want it to be. And the only thing perhaps that I might offer even more, or to stoke, or to maybe to, you know, focus it a little bit, is because it's already happening, is a true Napoleon Hill mastermind group. And if everybody in here should probably either have read Think and Grow Rich, or has Think and Grow Rich, or something like that. You know, look up the mastermind. There's a whole chapter on the mastermind. And so this is very cool. And this is what we're selling. This is why all of us can go. When you talk to somebody on the phone, I mean, I have new people that are starting now that are like, they're trying to explain. They're like, you got to meet this group. You got to meet these people, you know. That's what it is. It's not necessarily, you know, VIP and this, that, and the other. All that stuff is awesome, and we got to have money to buy groceries and do things like that. But it's this right here. And I would submit to everybody, Titan's great. It's an awesome business, but we could go do something else, man, really. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to hearing more from some of you guys. I'm very excited about your enthusiasm and energy that you bring as a result of these meetings, or the meeting that was there. And I'll be at the next one. I mean, you know, whatever the next one is, I like to go to meetings, you know, real good stuff. So that's all that I have.
You're awesome, Rob.
Well, you can book your flight and book your room, because I'll see you November 16th to 18th.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was an awesome share, Rob. Love it. Love it. Your word is, it holds much weight with us. So thank you. Valerie. Hi. Oh, you're still muted. There. Try again.
Hi, Susan. Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. Tonight is amazing. And the event, Susan, that was just, I know I used the word to describe it to you, powerful. Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt the whole weekend. And driving home Sunday afternoon, I'm like, wow, that's just amazing. And I've been reading through my notes this week. And one of the things that Eric Worre told us at first, he said, your notes will be the treasure map for your team. And wow. I have a lot of notes, Susan. And I know Tammy was saying, I want to see your book. I said, no, I'm going to know. I'll share it. And another thing he told us, he said, don't act like the audience. And he said, everyone is a leader here. And that was really good. And just so many things. I'm not going to go into it because I know it's the night is already, the call is lengthy. But the other thing he said initially was, he said, when you're done here this weekend, you will walk out of here unstoppable. And that word came up so many times in the songs that were played, and so many of the words that you use, Susan, and that everyone on this team uses, authentic and courage and realness and energy. All those things were used, and that was a common thread throughout the whole event. And I'm just so glad I went, and I plan to go next year. I can't wait.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. That reaffirmation, there I go again. I can't talk. For us to feel even more confident in what we are sharing and what we are speaking, it is powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is powerful. One of the things that Tony was going through is about leadership. Leadership is about influence, right? We do have influence. Leadership is about influence. But how do you cultivate that and how do you create that? Well, to influence people, you must know what influences them. You need to know what their passions are. So it's awareness. And then he said, you have to take a step back further. You know where I'm going with this, Ray, don't you? We did a whole workshop. Chicago Limitless was about exactly that topic. And the whole time Tony is talking, I'm seriously smiling. Is that reaffirmation that you're in the right place, that you're helping people in the right way to this huge icon that's there. That's amazing. So he said to be a leader that influences people, you have to start with yourself. Self-awareness and emotional intelligence first. We spent a whole week on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. So self-awareness, emotional awareness, your state, your blueprint, and then you move forward and you will be a leader. You will lead and you will influence people. We are a community of powerful influence. Amazing, amazing. It's beautiful to be here. Does anybody else have anything else to say?
Yeah, I want to go do an event right now.
Frank, you must have some thoughts. Frank, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts?
I just appreciate everybody speaking tonight, coming out here, and 60 seconds is all everybody that's speaking. Tammy, I caught the vision of what the excitement and the vision of yours has been expanded 4 to 10 times. And I caught that when you were speaking, that, you know, you can take everybody speaking at the event, but just that the power and influence that you caught in that will expand. And I know that for everybody here, 2017 is going to be massive. We haven't even started yet. I mean, think about it. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking is how many people can you really help? You know, and you said 100, and before I haven't heard you speak those numbers before, Tammy. So I'm excited. That's all I had. Thanks for everybody tonight. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. So, housekeeping. If you've been invited here and you're not a part of our alliance, get back with who invited you and ask them how you can get started. The recording is usually available within 24 hours. So if you're a member, grab that recording and share it with your potential partners. Share it with your leads. That's our process, right? Generate a lead, invite them to the value, create that conversation, and then ask for a decision. That's it. Keep it simple. Share what we have. We're creating this for you. It's all about creating the value, creating the community, building the belief. And that's what it's about. So on that note, thank you. And we'll see all of you next week.
Thank you.
Super powerful.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great topic. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Susan.
Good.
Thanks, everyone.
Good job.